Chairman Grassley, Ranking Member Whitehouse, thank you for the opportunity to testify before the committee. My name is Oscar Vasquez, and I am proud to be an American. I was born in a small town in Mexico. I was 12 years old when my mother and I boarded a bus to the border. Although I did not make the choice to come to America, this country quickly became my home. As soon as we were settled in America, my parents made sure I was enrolled in school because they wanted me to understand the value of education. It was at this point that I started to develop a passion for math and science, since the formulas and equations transcended the language barrier. In high school, I joined the JROTC program, where my two instructors were Vietnam veterans. They thought it was the value of selfless service, whether you were able to provide it in the military or not. They wanted us to be better Americans. I loved the order and discipline and was eventually awarded the JROTC Officer of the Year. In my sophomore year, soon after 9/11, I saw the Band of Brothers miniseries, and I knew then I wanted to join the Army. But when I met with the recruiter, I was told I could not enlist because I was undocumented. I left that meeting not knowing what to do or what was next. I was devastated. I knew how to figure out what else to do with my life. At the beginning of my senior year, I joined the robotics club. Our team of undocumented students entered a NASA-sponsored national competition, and we designed an underwater robot named Stinky. Beyond our wildest dreams, my high school team won the grand prize for the competition against some of the country's top technical universities. Winning the competition was proof that we as dreamers had something to offer to the country we always considered our home. Although I could not contribute to my country by joining the military, I enrolled at Arizona State University and decided I could contribute by becoming an engineer. In 2005, I married my wife Carla, a U.S. citizen. She started the process of petitioning for my legal status, but as it is the case with many dreamers, there were enormous legal obstacles and substantial risks. While I was a student at Arizona State, the Arizona legislature passed a law prohibiting undocumented students from receiving in-state financial aid and paying in-state tuition. Even though Arizona had been my home for many years and I was married to a U.S. citizen, I was treated like an outsider. The law tripled my tuition, but through private scholarships and by working construction, I scraped the money together to pay for college and support my family. I graduated in 2009 with a degree in mechanical engineering. This was 3 years before the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals was established. So even though I had a STEM degree and there were jobs available, no one would hire me in this field because I didn't have legal status. However, in 2010, after completing a legal process that involved substantial hardship to my family, I was able to get a green card. Having legal resident status changed my life. I was able to get a driver's license, travel freely within the United States, and pursue my career in engineering. The biggest change that I noticed was the fear. I was no longer afraid of being deported, of being forcibly separated from my family. I could also pursue my dream of joining the military and become a paratrooper. I enlisted in the United States Army and started basic training in February 2011. I wanted to fight for the country that raised me. Saying I love this country wasn't enough. I wanted to let my actions speak for themselves. Before I finished basic training, I became a U.S. citizen. A couple of weeks later, I found myself jumping out of a C-130 flying over Fort Benning, Georgia. And a couple months after that, I was deployed to Afghanistan. I look forward to combat because I wanted to protect the United States. Serving in the Army allowed me to contribute more fully to this country and make it safer. I was following in the footsteps of countless other immigrants who have proudly served the United States. In Afghanistan, I fought side by side with my Army brothers. We wore the same uniform, wore the U.S. flag on the same shoulder. It mattered more that we were willing to die for each other and for our country than where we came from. To this day, I remember how I felt after our first firefight in Afghanistan. I had put my life on the line for my brothers and for my country, and I felt really proud to be an American. I felt then for the first time that no one could again question whether I am an American. It has been a great honor to serve my country. My son Oscar Maximus is 4 years old and in preschool. My daughter Samantha is 8 years old and in 3rd grade. We live outside of Fort Worth, Texas, where I volunteer at 2 different high schools in their respective robotics program. I feel that my family is living the American dream. But I want to continue serving my country, and I will soon join the Army Reserve. I think now about all the doors that were unlocked for me when I gained lawful permanent residence, the ability to get the job of my dreams, provide for my family, and live without fear. I can't imagine what it will be like to have that taken away from me today. I also can't imagine what it is like today for my former teammates and the nearly 100,000 DACA recipients who do not have a legal status and who are afraid of what could happen to them in a matter of days. Of course, DACA is only a temporary solution, and now even that is at risk. I hope that you will not view my story as that of someone exceptional. Rather, I am where I am today because of the many great people that have believed in me and have given me a chance. I also want to acknowledge that most dreamers and most undocumented immigrants do not have a path to legal status right now. I wanted to come here today because our country's top law enforcement officer must be someone who understands that immigrants make our country stronger. Most Americans agree that it's not right to deport someone who was brought here as a child, to deport them to a country they might not even remember. We need an attorney general who will protect American people from those who will do us harm, but who will also show mercy to those who deserve it. Thank you again for the opportunity to testify. I look forward to